everyone, welcome back to Acres of Clay. If you're new to my channel, I'm Rhonda, and today we're going to be working at earlage. Earlage is something that we harvest every single year. It's kind of like our high moisture corn. A lot of people aren't familiar with earlage, so in today's video I'm going to explain exactly what it is and hopefully give you guys a better idea of what it is. So if you are new to our channel, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. You just gotta push the subscribe button, and then YouTube will tell you every time that we have a new video come out. Usually I have a video out every Sunday at 11 Eastern Standard Time, so you can always be looking forward to that, unless of course our internet is down, I've been busy, and I haven't got it edited, or maybe I'm taking a break, but that doesn't happen very often. So driving the Volvo, and I have the dump trailer, and Mackenzie is also hauling today. She's got the straight truck, the Freightliner, and Kevin is chopping, while all the boys they are working on other projects like hauling manure, feeding cows, and what else is there? Working on the barn. So I have to get going because the chopper and Mackenzie have already left. I had to do a few things in the house, get ready for supper. Got that in the crock pot, so we're all set for supper tonight, and I won't have to worry about it when. Can I make that? Enough rambling, let's get to the field. Alright, so this is the field that we're going to be doing earlage on. So we got it opened up. Now Kevin's in the back by that tree line there, and he's opening up Mackenzie so we can do that back little square. I'm hoping that she's not full because I didn't want to go all the way around the field to follow. So I'm just sitting here waiting. It's warm today and beautiful day for harvest, I guess. At least it's not rainy and it's not muddy, because we were just reminiscing how muddy 2019 and 2020 were, and so we don't want to relive that if we don't have to. Getting there. We got this first section here almost done. Last 6 rows going through right now. Now there's 2 different corn numbers in this field. There's an 82-day corn and a 92-day. And the 82-day it's a little bit dry, but thankfully we have the 92-day, which is a little bit wet, and so it balances it out. For earlage, we would like to see 35-40% moisture. Family meeting. I'm not sure what Ethan needs, but he came over because Kevin doesn't have a phone on him. this is how much we got done this afternoon, because we didn't really start till after lunch. So we got this section here, and then let me get up here, I'll show you some more. And then we got that piece done. I don't know why Kevin left one width there. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what he does, but we did all that. And now we're calling it a day. Supper time almost, and so I'm gonna go home, finish up the last touches of supper. We're gonna eat, and then we gotta do chores, and that's that. So I'll be in this seat again tomorrow afternoon, so I'll bring you along then.
So Rhonda has asked me to explain earlage, snaplage, or high moisture ear corn. There's 3 different names that people call it. We kind of call it earlage, I guess. It's kind of the name that we settled on. And the reason being that we call it earlage is because basically, if we go around to the front of the chopper here in a minute, I'll show you. But we basically, you have the stalk and you have the ear. We just pop the ear off and we run it through the knives and through the kernel processor, and it makes earlage, or grinds it up. And we do it at, we like it 30-35% moisture, so that way it ferments well and packs well and makes really good feed. So we just got done running a field of earlage, so I thought I would show you kind of what it does. But basically these are the ears. It takes the husk and the ear and the cob, and it goes right up, feeds right in through the feed rolls, right through the knives and kernel processor. And this is a combine head that goes on a combine that we have adapted to put on our self-propelled chopper. And on a combine, it does the same thing. It just strips the ear off, and then the combine through the rotor shells the kernels off the cob, spits the cob out the back, and the kernels in the bin. But we want the whole ear, so that's why we run it through a chopper, grinds it. It's just like grinding ear corn out of a crib. Some of you guys know that. And so yeah, we made an adapter plate. Here is the original. I'll show you one that's not adapted, but this plate we adapted to fit this head. So we bought a John Deere adapter plate off an auction, and I'll show you what one looks like. But this plate here is original for would be on a John Deere chopper, and it would carry their hay head, their corn head, and everything else. So what I did is I shortened it a little bit so it would fit the opening of this corn head, and I will show you what a full plate looks like. And then this is a modified plate. So this is the adapter plate, what it originally looked like before I modify it. This is our plate that we put on for hay head and corn head, the Kemper corn head. So what we did is we took and cut this plate right here and made it a little bit skinnier to fit into the width, the opening of the snap head, the combine head. So that's how we made kind of our own adapter plate, and that's how we made it work. So this is the back side of the adapter plate, and see how it fits up into the main beam of the corn head. So that's how this head hooks on. And then we run a Lindquist. The name's right on the side there. I don't know if they're in business anymore or not, but they call it a jack shaft. It's a shaft that goes underneath the cutter head, and then it comes to a chain box, which comes up to this shaft, and the camera will back out. But this is a shaft that runs the corn head, these PTO shafts. Well, that hooks on this side, and there's the same thing on the other side if we go to the other side. So with the jack shaft on, on this side it slides on the splined shaft that comes out of your length of cut transmission, and there's the spline shaft there is where you hook your hay head to, or your Kemper heads, or any head that you put on a chopper. But this particular jack shaft, it slides onto that, and it has a throw shaft to run this side of the head. Because you see there's another PTO shaft here, and that's what runs this side of the head. So if you look down a little bit, you'll see the shaft that actually goes across. And that's what I'm pointing at right there. Yep, and that's a shaft that goes across to run the other chain box on the other side. So it's a very simple setup. And the reason I went with this setup, there's another setup that a couple manufacturers make, and it actually puts a space. It moves the head out about 8 inches, 10 inches, and it has a paddle, another paddle in it, but a lot of guys have issues with that feeding and shelling a lot of the corn off the cob before it gets into the actual feed rolls of the chopper. So I'm very happy with this setup. It works really well. Yeah, we leave the feed roll set at a very slow speed. The head is set at a high speed, and it's smooth sailing right through. There's no slugging, where I know some of the other type adapters have issues with slugging and putting wads through at a time, where this feeds really evenly. So I'm very, very happy with this particular setup. All right, some of you have asked why we do earlage instead of high moisture corn, where high moisture corn is running it through a combine at 30% and fermenting it. The reason I like earlage is because it has the cob in with it, which acts as a fiber in the cow's stomach. High moisture corn is very highly digestible, and a lot of times people will add dry hay or straw to their cow ration. I just like it because of that fact, the fiber. I mean, it kind of replaces straw in the ration a little bit, and slows the rumen down just a little bit for actually digestibility. And it's a lot more volume of feed too, because I like that fact. Kind of some interesting facts. 1 scoop of earlage will replace two scoops of corn silage on energy density, so that way you don't have to feed so much corn silage. And let me just put it in starch perspective, some feed guys. Corn silage is typically about 33% starch. Earlage is about 66% starch, and high moisture corn is like 99% starch. So it's just kind of a way that you could maybe not have to feed so much corn silage, because corn silage is only 30% starch, so it takes a lot of it, where this is just a more energy denser product. So that's kind of what I like about it too. I can pull out a scoop of corn silage, put in 1 scoop of this, which is equivalent to 2 scoops of corn silage, and feed more protein, so we don't have to buy as much protein. So that's kind of the little tweaks as to why we run it. This year is kind of a trial year again, because we're going to robot milkers, and we need to feed a dry corn with soy meal through the robot or a pellet, and that's going to be kind of a learning curve with all this. So we're actually, this year we didn't chop quite as much earlage, because of that fact that we need more dry corn to put in to feed through the robot milker, so that way the cows have a treat to kind of come up and get milked. So that's why kind of what's going on this year with us, with the robot milking machines that we're putting in. That's going to be a whole different experience. So next year we'll hopefully have more of a grounded sense of what's going on, and if I could incorporate more earlage and less corn silage, that way we could feed more hay. That's kind of what our goal is, and we'll have to wait till next year to see what happens. All right, this is a sample of the earlage that we're doing after it goes through the chopper. You can see a little bit of husk, a little bit of, actually you can't really find the cob. Oh, there's a piece of cob. It grinds it up pretty good, and a lot of people joke about this earlage is it looks like basically dirty corn. So But yeah, this is basically what it is. They'll get packed and fermented, and cows really like it.
We're off to a later start this afternoon. It's already 3 o'clock, and we just had a lot of different things going on, so it's just a late start. Sanders is driving the straight truck this afternoon, since we're probably going to only work for a couple hours. I had to stop and get a snack. We got these, I've got to finish up my apple in a minute. We went to an orchard, a pretty local orchard, and they had these apples. They were called Sweeties, and sorry, I ate most of it, but they're so good. And I have not had this variety before, but I think it's probably like very, very close to a Gala apple. Those are one of my favorite apples, Gala, for just snacking on anyways. This morning I was gonna make something called a slab pie, or a apple slab bar, which is kind of like a pie, but it's on a jelly roll pan or cookie sheet type pan. But I didn't get that far. Let me know what your favorite apple is. Do you like a sweeter apple or more tart apple, sour or tart? I'm not a big tart person, so I tend to go with the sweet. When I was a kid, before I knew there was such thing as a Gala apple, my mom would buy Yellow Delicious once in a while. Those were my favorite. The yellow, not the red. I would always pick a Yellow Delicious over a Red Delicious. Random question of the day. If you only had one fruit to choose from to eat, what fruit would that be? We're kind of in a low spot right here, in a ditch area. What fruit would you choose? I think I would choose an apple. I think. So eventually all this is going to be clover. The Balanza clover. It does really well here because this is such a heavy soil, and it seems to like that heavy, wetter soil over the lighter soil. And we did a video on that this spring, so if you're looking for a video about the Balanza clover, I will leave a little card up above here, and you can click on that, and then you can watch that video later after you finish this one. Uh-oh. You know something isn't great when the operator has to get out. What happened? Thankfully that was an easy fix. So hopefully we can finish this afternoon. Got a little rider here. I'm not sure why she's sitting right here, but she wants to be really close, I guess. Looking out my window instead of looking out her window. But this corn is a little bit greener, so this is going on the top. Probably a little bit more moisture than the last field, so that'll be good. Daisy, what are you doing? What are you doing? She smells all the smells, gets to see all the sights. So we're about halfway done with the field. I just took the middle out first because that I think was the driest. So now we're gonna work on the outsides. This dog, she thinks she's gotta sit to look out my window. Well, I didn't get much video of the earlage pile, and now we're going to be covering it. So, here it is. This is this year's earlage, last year's earlage. The white reflects the sun. Huh? It's blinding. And she's barefoot for whatever reason. So I got a couple big tires, tractor tires on the side just to hold it in place, and now we rolled it back up. We'll set tires on the top, kind of put them down the sides, and then unroll it as we go. This is how we load the tractor.
Oops. I miscalculated. Now. That's how you do it, people are like go barefoot. And we have our hair in a bun. Maybe that's a little weirder than just those cute girls with their hairs in a bun.